welcoming Mr. Sukumar Rajagopal. He was ex-global CEO, headed innovation groups, and he is currently running a startup who's focused on behavioral and digital transformation. We encourage people with growth mindset. We encourage people to share knowledge. And this Eureka Corner, as we all know, this is specifically to help us discuss and collaborate and bring about new ideas and innovations. I keep talking about innovation. I'm not sure how many of us really understand what innovation is. There is big science behind innovation. And here we have a person, the கரைத்து குடித்த அந்த மாதிரி ஒரு thing. So here we have a person who was actually practiced a lot of things. Who has I would say who has done innovation at scale. He has brought in concept of managed innovation in CTS, and today he is consulting a lot of companies, big companies, small guys, and mainly being a person of sharing knowledge. He is one small thing. He is running a 3-minute Thursday videos on his YouTube channel, and you can also watch his LinkedIn thing. So where he talks about various concepts around innovation, picking from various books which we should read. I mean, he takes time to read them, understand them, and then relates his personal experiences over those concepts and tells us in a very nice way, so we can just hear over it and start executing. We did not even sweat to go and know what those books are about. So he's such a great person. So today we have him here. So let's hear directly from him on what innovation is. So we named it Grassroots Innovation. So whatever small tips and tricks that he would give would be really helpful for not just as a company, for each of us as an individual, where we can improve our career graphs, keep doing the 1% improvements that we always strive for. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. You want to say anything? This mic, can you hear? I have this caller mic. Can you all hear me? Okay, thank you for that introduction. He has set the expectations very high. I'm going to try. Does this thing come up? The presentation? Okay, so while we wait for the thing to come up, can a few of you tell me what is the, I think we have to turn off the other mic. I think that's the feedback. So tell me, yeah, you have to turn that off. Or somewhere it's picking up the feedback. Maybe this JBL speaker. Yeah, hello. So let's. No, maybe that's okay. I do have a loud voice. Can people at the back hear me? Yeah. So let's start with the quiz. I know that your CEO Prem has been saying that you should all innovate. So if I ask you the question, what prevents you from innovating? What will you all say? Let's just do 2 or 3 things.
Resistance.
Sorry?
Our resistance.
Our resistance to what?
Resistance towards doing the thing which is out of box. We are very much interested in doing the routine things. We don't want to take a risk in going for the things which is going to be
Inability to take risk. Okay, very good. Next.
Busy schedule in day-to-day activities.
Busy schedule, no time. Yeah, I thought that will come first. Whoever is not answering, that means you are already innovating. So your CEO is looking at you. Comfort zone, okay. You're comfortable where you are at. Okay. Anything else? Come on, people. I know it's afternoon. At the back, what is your... We call this the barriers to innovation. What are the barriers to innovation? Or blockers to innovation, whatever is your favorite. I'm driving somewhere with this, so you have to answer me. We can't go on if you don't answer.
Fear too.
Not you, you already answered. Let the other people answer. Come on, people. If you want to say that in Tamil, it's fine too.
Laziness to think.
Lazy to think, okay? Very good. What else?
Whatever we maybe think that will be gone around or anything.
What if your thinking is wrong? Okay, very interesting. Okay. Or people will criticize you if you say the wrong thing, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Very good. Anything else? I need at least 2 more. Otherwise, we won't move forward. What is your barrier? I know it's hard enough standing and listening. People that are sitting here comfortable, we'll ask them. What prevents you from innovating? Okay, so I guess we got quite a few. See, innovation is a lot about mindset. Okay, this word mindset has acquired a lot of prominence lately. So what happened was we discovered this in Cognizant by accident. Arun is here, he is still in Cognizant in the innovation group, where we ran this managed innovation program. We tried to spread the culture of innovation. So by accident, we did this in one of the programs saying, what are the barriers to innovation? Now it will interest you to note that this particular barriers to innovation discussion that we just had, we have repeated it thousands of times across the globe, across companies, across cultures, across languages. The same barriers come up. The same things. In fact, the wordings are also very similar. Can anybody guess why that would be the case? Did that surprise you first? Does that surprise any of you? That across the world, the same set of barriers will come up. So the first time we did it in Cognizant, we were like, this is good. Next time we did it, same. Next time we did it, same. Every time we do it, the same. It is actually published on the internet and you can look it up. The top 10 barriers to innovation has been called. So why does that happen? Can anybody guess? I am told that you are all working at the cutting edge of digital technology. So tell me, why does this happen? See, if you are not going to interact, it's going to become very difficult.
Maybe because of our society.
Our society across the world is like that.
Yeah. Like we are.
It's very good answer.
Focus.
Very good answer. So instead of society, can we take it one level up? We are all human beings. All human beings think in the same way. So there is a pattern. So we in Tiny Magic are interested in patterns that are human, not cultural. Because in India we think in the same way, America some other way. We want to think at the human level. The patterns are still interesting and they are still similar. So to tell you why we gave the same barriers across the world, I am going to give you a thought experiment. This is my favorite thought experiment and I start most of my sessions with this. How many of your parents here? I know you are all very young, so only a few. But you have been a child before, so you should be able to answer this question. So imagine that tomorrow morning you open the door to your house and you see a newborn baby which has been left at your doorstep and it is screaming its guts out. It's crying loudly. What is the first thing you would do? Try to calm the child. What would you do? Pamper the child. Anybody else?
Call the police.
Is that the first thing you will do?
First thing is the fear which will come in our mind initially. Next is action.
I am only talking about action. I am not talking about what you are thinking. What is the first thing you will do?
Taking the baby back.
Take the baby in your hands and comfort it. Why that baby came there, all that is next question. There is a baby screaming. What are you going to do? As a human being, you are likely to pick that baby up. Mostly. Now, it's also possible that I can slam the door and go back to sleep. I am not required to take care of a random baby that appeared in my doorstep, correct? It's not illegal or anything. Nobody is going to arrest me because I didn't take care of some baby. But almost no human being will take that step. 99.99% of the human beings are going to pick the baby up, comfort it, make it calm down, maybe feed it if you have access to baby food, and then figure out whose baby is it. Should I call the police or adoption agency or what it is? Now that represents a very interesting phenomenon from cognitive psychology, which we call responsibility mode mindset versus fault mode mindset. It's not my fault that the baby showed up at my doorstep, but I take responsibility for it first. Now, interestingly in life, this is a super interesting. Anytime we are faced with a problem, what is the mindset that we adopt first? Can anybody guess?
Hold that mindset.
The fault mode mindset. You all just displayed it a few minutes ago with your barriers to innovation. So, the thing is, let's take the chief amongst them, right, which is I don't have time to innovate. Let's say that we have been asked to solve the problem. We are all supposed to innovate, but there is no time to innovate. Can anybody say what the solution to that could be?
Everybody has time, but we are not equal.
No, but I don't have time, no?
So that is our mindset.
I agree, but what you will do? You have priorities, your boss has given you a long list of things to do. At home you have an even longer list, I assume. Prioritizing is good, but what else you could do? You can make innovation a priority, yeah, that might help, but there is something much more simple that you could do. Sorry? It should be a habit. Yeah, but what is the one thing that you all can do?
Simple action.
What would that be?
Not like to do.
No, you are supposed to innovate. You are saying I don't have time. How do you break this problem? It's a problem that we have to solve.
Take a break.
If you take a break, that isn't going to give you innovation, no?
At the time we can just give a small thing.
So take a break and think about innovation. But if he just said I don't have time.
Not think about innovation. Maybe at the time maybe you can have a small something think about the innovation.
Yeah, I guess you do that, but the problem is I am arguing that I don't have time. That's not technically correct, but that's what I feel. All those barriers that you all said, that's what you feel. That is your reality. That's what you're thinking in your mind. Unfortunately, across the world, all human beings, when they are posed this question, now I played a mental trick on you, which is by saying that why you are not innovating. You could have easily shut me down and say in OpitSol everybody innovates. Then I will be shut down. But the problem is, you know in your mind that you are not innovating enough. So I made you feel guilty. And the bad answer is going to be, oh, I don't have time, blah, this, something. So I put you in fault mode mindset deliberately, just so we can illustrate this concept. So when I don't have time, what can I do? There's one thing that you can all do from now, from tomorrow, or whenever you have time to do. For innovation, what is it that you could do? Every one of you can do it, I guarantee it. In fact, I can write my signature and give it to you right now. Take a bet. When I leave, you can do it. And that will be called innovation. What would that be? By the way, how much time do I have? Another hour? Okay. I hate it when all of you have to stand.
So they can even sit actually, they have chairs.
You all can sit actually. I will just try to walk around. I feel uncomfortable with so many people standing. So yeah, okay. Whoever gives the correct answer wins a 1,000 rupee Amazon coupon from me. That is going to motivate you all to answer. It has to be the right answer. In case you are thinking that I am making things up, it's here. I will give it to you. Who is going to win it? You can talk to people. Sure, you can talk. But I am talking about what is it that you can do. Yeah, you can talk to people. Will that lead to innovation? Maybe. What is it that you can do when I leave? That will be considered as innovation by your management.
Whatever you are doing, just stop it and think about innovation.
But that will not be doing. Thinking is
You
good.
can do.
But you just said I don't have time. So we are trying to tackle the problem of I don't have time.
First of all, I need to choose the subject, first of all. If I don't know the subject, what I'm going to innovate, that is not drive and willingness inside me. It's very difficult. Right? That I have to prepare.
What is the subject that you all work on?
So everyone has got a different subject to do. But
Like
innovation.
what?
Yeah.
You are all software developer people, right? So that is your subject. No special subject is needed. That's the hint. Come on, people at the back. Tell me. What can you do? You don't need any time. Okay, so what you will do? Okay. So will you be able to, so my question is what can you do starting now? Newton did that, yes. Apples fall on a lot of people's desks, including mine. I didn't think of the law of gravity. You will write down the problem. Okay, what would that be? No, but what that problem will be? The problem is I don't have time. That's what I'm saying. So technically you don't have time for writing the problem also. If you have the time and you noted down the problem, you will better solve it. Okay. Sorry?
So it's a problem in simplest way.
What would that be?
That is simplifying things. Actually, what are you facing the problem? Try to make it simple.
Give me an example.
For example, once you have one, you have to get a mandate. You have to do the panel, you have to line it on the CN text. Similarly, what are the
I am asking what is it that you can do in your job? You can do something in your job that will be counted as innovation, which will break the myth that you don't have time. It's a myth. It's just a fault mode thinking. How many of you watch movies? Don't be afraid. I know you all watch movies. So don't cheat me. It doesn't matter. Whenever it is that you are watching, it's 3 hours. So you have time. 3 hours is more than enough to do innovation. One movie you sacrifice, you can do innovation. So no time is a myth. That's just fault mode thinking. And I don't want to get into all the other entertainment activities you do. Right? So tell me what you can do. Quickly, we need to move on. I haven't even started my presentation.
We need to have a
Give up something
focus
actually, what
towards
I plan to do, give up something and focus on innovation. I have to give up.
Like what?
I plan something today, then I have to stop doing that and then I have to put some time for innovation thinking. So I should break somewhere.
You could.
We need to have some interest towards a subject. That is, they are very passionate towards a subject.
No, but you are all passionate about your software development job, isn't it? That doesn't per se bring out the innovation. I am assuming that you are all passionate about it. That's a given. If you are not passionate about it, I am not sure you will even be able to do your job, given all your training. I know, but that is true, but okay, this is a tricky problem, right? I am saying I don't have time. So I need to do something that breaks that and gets me innovating. Then only I will stop believing. Because if you say I am really interested, I will find time. You are all interested. How many of you want to innovate? Nobody wants to innovate? Okay, your CEO has called me. You better raise your hands. So you all want to innovate. So that has been established. But you don't have time. What do you do? Nobody wants to win this coupon, so okay. We'll go to the next puzzle. Yeah. Nobody is winning this. So there are many more puzzles that you can win, maybe one. So what happens is that when we did this barriers to innovation, this is the same thing we did in Cognizant also. We ask people, what is the solution to the no time problem? Usually, someone in the room says, I just have to do my job better. What would that be called? Automation, writing tools, macros, anything that you are doing. If I can, so what will happen when you do automation? It saves time. And that's the thing that we argued we didn't have. So this is not a new concept. This the Japanese have been doing for decades called Kaizen, continuous innovation. So in everything that you are doing, there is a potential to do it better. In fact, it is impossible for human beings to do something that is 100% perfect. If you see anything like that, show me. It's just not possible for human beings to do something 100% perfect. So whatever it is that you are doing, you can do better. And that incremental value you have created, that's called continuous innovation. So Cognizant Associates, by the time I left, they had delivered $1 billion of continuous innovation to their clients. And I am told these days that's happening in every year. Every year they deliver $1 billion of continuous innovation. So when you do this, the thing that we don't do, why this is hard is, I'm sure all of you write tools on automation. Yeah? Did you even recognize that as innovation? Probably not. So every time you do that, you calculate how much money or dollars or effort you have saved. And go to your supervisor and say, this is how much I have saved. And I hear that you have some app that is being launched today where you can post these things. So that's what you should do. Post that into the app saying, this is what I did. So you get recognized for it and that culture builds. So I want to give you guys one more puzzle. I don't know whether any of you can see this, but imagine a structure that is as tall as the Empire State Building. It's one of the world's tallest buildings. And assume that it is freestanding, no foundation. On the right hand side, there is a small block of marble. It's about 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter. Will I be able to topple that Empire State Building with this small piece of marble? How many of you think that's impossible? Show of hands. Everybody thinks it's possible. Then you have to tell me how to do it. It's impossible. If you don't raise your hand, what does that mean? It's either possible or it is impossible. It's impossible. Everybody agrees?
Give that to Spider-Man.
Spider-Man also cannot topple the Empire State Building. It's very tall. It's around, I think, 90 stories tall. It's definitely in the top 10 tallest buildings. It's an iconic building. I could have chosen any other building. So we'll see how to solve this problem. Now when you use the word innovation, right, what is the first thing that comes to your mind? Let's say I say innovation. What is the first word that will come to your mind? I want you all to innovate. Idea. Innovation, first thing comes is idea. If it problem came, then you are doing good. You are very smart. I wasn't as smart. So I'm thinking I need to find the big idea. I became head of innovation of Cognizant, and I thought my job is to find the big idea. Now when you want to find big ideas, what do? Do you all do that in your company? There's something you can do to find the big ideas. Has anybody done that with you? Ask your reportee. No, I was head of innovations. I needed to facilitate something. So what I did was I took the top 40 executives in Cognizant to a resort in Hyderabad. It's called Leonia, right?
Book a room and think about it.
Book a room and think about it. Room போட்டு யோசிக்கணும். Something similar to that. So we generated what we thought were 50 very powerful ideas. And I thought that some of them were truly visionary. How many ideas do you think we got implemented? 4? You all have great respect for Cognizant. How many ideas do you think we implemented? Sorry? 2 or 3? 0? He has even greater respect for Cognizant. Okay, the real answer turns out to be his answer. We implemented 0 ideas, but anybody can guess why that happened.
It's the first step always.
This is the top 40 executives, by the way. SVPs and people like that. They are the direct reports of the